We're live. Hi, friends. Yay, this is so much fun. I'm super excited to be interviewing some of my clients this month, actually. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Brittany Budd. I'm the creator and facilitator of this amazing community. I'm a mindset and business coach, and I help online entrepreneurs just like you to build and scale your business to 6 figures and beyond using organic social media marketing strategies. And today I'm talking to one of my amazing clients, Erin. Erin, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody in the audience?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Thank you, Brittany, first for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I just am. So I'm Erin Neuhardt, and I own eStudio Events, which up until about 2020 was a full service events, in-person events. You know, that's what I did, in-person events. And recently I've made the switch over using all of my past experience and also Brittany's coaching to be able to really step in as a visibility consultant, helping entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and coaches really harness their natural visibility and increase their message out in the market. So
I love this. Tell us a little bit about your journey. What got you into this?
So I have been an entrepreneur for 4 years. I'm celebrating my 4th year in business, and obviously last year for a lot of people, myself included, my whole industry shut down. So I had to pivot very quickly. And really what I did was go through a huge transformation. And so now I'm on the other side of that, really feeling like I'm stepping into the space that I'm supposed to be in. But honestly, I didn't know if I could call myself a coach or consultant or offer packages the way that I am right now. And it's a huge thanks to you, Brittany, and really some of the posts that you made prior to the incubator that really caught my interest and started me thinking and being like, wait a minute, like, yes, I can do this. And then you offered the incubator. And so I was all in. I was like, I'm doing this. Brittany's the one who was going to help me get my mind in a place where I can do this. And it's been awesome.
I love that so much. Let's talk a little bit about like before.
Yeah.
Tell me what you were thinking and feeling with respect to your business before the audience incubator became a thing and you applied for it and joined.
So I had gotten a few clients that were more virtual event planning clients, which was awesome. I was feeling okay, but I was feeling not totally, but really unfulfilled. Like, I've already done this. I really want to move into another phase, another place in my business. And I was really reticent to do that. I was really unclear on my messaging. I hadn't put myself out in front of people before. I am the person who's usually behind the scenes, making things happen, making like everyone's dreams come true. And it was a scary prospect to stand out in front of people and say, I'm the one here and I can also get you to where you need to be. And so that's where I was hiding a lot.
Why do you think that was?
I think part of it was that I didn't have the confidence to really own my messaging and also own my own experience. I have 15 years of experience that like bridges from event planning to launches to book launches, all kinds of things that help people with their visibility. So I've been doing this for so long, but to move into the other side where it's much more of I'm going to stand next to you and help you through this, that was something I was super uncomfortable about. And so I was really glad to have the opportunity to work with you because that really was what I needed. I think for the first month of the incubator, like I took in all of the information and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then it all just clicked. And so things are very different now.
Yes, they really are for you. Now, before we started working together in the incubator, and I know that when you first started, you sent me a message and you were like, I don't know if this is the right thing for me. I don't really have a business yet. Talk to me about where you were, like what your thoughts were
Yeah.
about starting your coaching business at that point.
So I was really concerned about it. I didn't think I had no credentials as a coach per se, and I wasn't sure that starting out with no like I didn't know how I was even going to present myself, and so that was really challenging for me to overcome, really, and to say, okay, I trust that this is going to be the answer and that I am going to be able to harness the skills that I need. I will say also, I have worked with coaches in the past. And so I was reticent to work with another coach because I've had mixed, just mixed, what's the word that I'm looking for? Success. I've had mixed success. And part of that though was me going into it. And so I really chose deliberately when I went into this with you, I was like, nope, there are no cards left on the table. We're going to go full out and we're going to play full out and see where it goes. And I am grateful for taking that leap because it really has made every difference in the world.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that because I think a lot of people can relate to, well, I've invested before and it didn't work, and I've worked with other coaches before and I didn't get what I was looking for. Without going into all of the murky details, of course.
Yeah.
But what made you really decide, okay, this is what it is going to be for me. I'm going all in. The incubator is going to be the thing that does it for me. What pushed you to try again?
I think that for me, the biggest thing was that your messaging was speaking directly to me. Like you were really talking to what I was experiencing. I had been following you for a long time before that and had done, been in other programs with you. And I was like, watching your success was amazing. And I was like, nope, I want that too. And I really feel like she knows where I've been. And she can help me get to the next place. And so it was a leap of faith, but it felt really good to me. And when I said yes to it, it really was a done deal. Like I came to you and I was like, I don't even know. Like, I'm not sure if this is what you really want. Like, you probably don't even want to work with me, and you were like, no, like you're in the right space. You're in the right place. Like you're ready to go. And so that was also the confidence I needed, I think, to be able to say, okay, she sees it in me too. So I can obviously, like, I think in one of your lives, you had said, I believe in my coachees more sometimes than they believe in themselves. And if they have to borrow the belief to be able to move forward, then I'm happy for them to borrow my belief in them. And that was really what I needed. I wanted a partner in this, someone who, when I came up against like my own mental mess, that was going to tell me, cut the crap. Like it's time, right? Like what? Let's assess, but then like let's move on from this. And that is exactly how it's been. So
I love that.
Yeah.
So again, in saying a lot of people have probably tried things before and it not work out. Tell us a little bit about like what was going on previously when you were hiring other coaches and doing other programs. What was going through your thought processes and what the results that you were getting during those times were?
So I think that I was in somewhat the wrong frame of mind, approaching coaching. In one of my longest term coaching relationships, I literally gave away most of my power in that relationship. And I was in a state where I would go into my coaching calls or my coaching, like in-person meetings with this person. And sometimes I would feel like they were running the meeting, but I physically gave that power to them because I was looking for somebody who was an expert who could like make my business into what I wanted it to be and what I could see it to be. And so I feel like there was a lot of, they were trying to help me. And in that, they were throwing like a lot of ideas at me, and I was reinventing myself a lot over a shorter period of time. Whereas I feel like you really hold the space. You give us a foundation, you hold the space, and it's a really reflective type of thing. So you make us make the decision in the end, and you give great guidance, but it's not something where I feel like you're going to be the one to tell me how to grow my business.
Right.
I'm the one who has that control. You have some amazing tools that you have shared, and you've obviously had amazing success in what you have been able to grow. So like when I said there's no way I will ever have a Facebook group in my life, and then lo and behold, like that was exactly the kind of community that I needed to create to be able to foster the connection that I wanted and the ripple effect that I really wanted in the world. Like that. So, I mean, I would say just don't prejudge. You never know what you're going to feel up to.
I love it. Okay, so when thinking about applying for the Mastermind, what hesitancies did you have before like pulling the trigger, applying, and sending me that message?
Yeah, so I think part of it was obviously the investment. I think everyone, like you have, I am of the school of thought that like you can't, there's no better investment than in yourself. But I also know that last year was a lean year for me. And so it was an investment that I had to like say, okay, I'm like, if I'm serious about this, I'm making the commitment to it, which, you know, also the skin in the game helps you prepare mentally to go forward and actually follow through on things. So I think that's really important. But I think that was the main one. And then I would also say like the hesitancy around, I loved how you have created this container for people, this community, but I was not thinking that I would create a container in the same way. And so I was like, I don't know how this is really going to work out. Like I totally thought help on messaging and really figuring out what I was going to be able to say to people, or helping with like packaging. I was really hoping that I would get help in that area and kind of figuring out how I would offer it. But I didn't know that, like, I was like, I'm probably not going to go in the exact same direction. And it's different, but it is like a similar delivery. So yeah.
I love that. Okay. So still thinking back to before you invested, what objections did you feel that you had to overcome to invest in yourself in this way?
I think one of the things is that when you're pivoting your business so drastically, like, is it worth it? Am I worthy of it? Like, am I worthy of continually reinventing my business, or like moving forward and really meeting the demands that I was facing head on? Or do I just need to pack it up and go get a 9-to-5, which is never a 9-to-5, let's be honest, right? So it's never just that amount of time. It's always more. So, and I made a conscious decision 4 years ago when I went out on my own to build the life that I wanted, right? And so my husband and I have been able to move to a place where we can live outside almost year round. We both work from home, so we're totally mobile. And so the thought of going back and having to get a job or do something different really is totally unappealing. Completely unappealing. So I think that it really is just, is this going to work? Am I going to allow it to work? And then saying, am I worthy of this? And can I rise to that that next step. So those were the things that went through my mind, I think. And I was really grappling with a lot of, the worthiness, like, can I actually help people? Do I have something to offer? All of those types of things. So.
Wow. That's so powerful. And I think so many people can really resonate with those exact words that you are saying about worthiness and empowering and woo, yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. I love this.
Thank you.
My next question for you is, what did you have to sacrifice in order to become a part of the mastermind?
I actually released a client right as I was beginning the mastermind. So I was doing work for a client, and I loved this person and I loved the work that I was doing, but it was misaligned for where I wanted to go. And it was actually manifesting somatically in my body felt that I needed to release this person. So it still was uncomfortable. It was still a sacrifice financially and personally as well, but it was the right thing that needed to happen at the time for me to be able to move forward and be totally in the headspace where I could move forward and be, focused on myself. So that was kind of a tough transition that happened in the first month of the mastermind, but it had to happen so that I could do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Letting go of a client is never easy.
Mm-mm.
No, but good for you. I'm
Thanks.
so proud of you that you were able to do that. And I know that you're proud of yourself.
Totally am. And it's better. Like, if you ever have to fire a client, please just do it with grace and dignity, but do it so that you feel better on the other side, right? Like, so much better.
You got to make the space.
Got to make the space.
Got to. Okay, so now that you're in the mastermind, I want you to tell everybody why your business is so important to you.
I have really, part of the root of me and why I have gone through all the different things and have been a part of, even when I was in my 9-to-5, the different things that I associated myself with was the power of people's stories and how important it was to see yourself in somebody else or be able to achieve something greater through the power of story. And so for me, it's really about helping people harness their own ability to be visible so that they can reach a much larger group of people and bring the message out to the world so that it changes everything. And I think that has been, if I had to weave a thread through everything that I've ever done, like, that has been the core thing. And so for me, it's so important because not only is it that I'm helping people get the visibility that they deserve and that they should have for them to further themselves, further their businesses, but it's also the accountability that I need to be able to continue to show up and be visible for other people. So it's both sides of the coin. I'm doing it for them and for myself. And that's super powerful for me.
I love that you just said that. And I say this all the time too. Every time I level up and I invest more in my business, it's for me, sure, but it's for my clients.
Mm-hmm.
They get next level me to work with. I love that you said that.
Thank you.
So after we had our conversation, so as Erin and I have been talking about, she applied and then she sent me a message being like, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I don't have a business. Is this going to work out for me? And I was like, yes, I want to offer you a spot. Tell everybody what you were thinking and feeling after we had that conversation and, you shut your phone off and you started to kind of go throughout your life waiting for it to start. What were you thinking and feeling after that?
So after that, I was excited, but I was really like, we still had a few weeks before we started. So I was like, okay, I'm going to kind of put this like off to the side. I'm moving forward in these other areas. I hadn't really figured out that the visibility was going to be the platform that I was going to work towards. I thought, being kind of a type A personality, I would do some homework and figure all this out. So I'd come in like prepared, and Brittany would be like, "Gold star, you did it. You figured it out. It's awesome." But I literally, it was pretty much business as usual for me. I didn't change a ton. And then even in that first month, like, I feel like I was a little bit of a late bloomer because I was seeing all of the girls in the group get, and we happen to all be women, but you know, all of the members of the group like get wins. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm kind of a dud, like hoping that this doesn't happen to me again, where I just don't, you know, where it doesn't happen for me. But then like things started to change and momentum picked up, obviously. So I would say right after, I felt like, okay, I'm doing this. 6 months starts in February. It was in January when I signed up. So I was, you know, had a few weeks, and I literally, it was pretty much business as usual. This starts in a few weeks and I'm going to get excited for it. But I couldn't prepare really. I was just, you know, yeah, that's what I got.
So you just said things changed and momentum picked up. What do you attribute things changing? What does that mean?
So for me, it was, you know, it was a series of things, and I really do attribute it to the container that you created for us. So I really feel like the women in the group are some of my biggest champions and advocates. Like, I really feel like you picked amazing people to be together in this. I feel like we're all on a journey. We all get to celebrate our wins. We all get to pick each other up when we feel like we've not met the mark, which I look around and I feel really honored and blessed to be amongst them because they're amazing people. But I also like, yeah, things change. I had this container, and then on another side of the story, I had a dinner with friends where I was absolutely enraged by the conversation going on at the table around these amazing, brilliant women who have had so much success in their lives, yet I heard the same stories that I hear so many other people saying, and downgrading their accomplishments, and then being like, well, I'd like to move ahead and do this other thing, but there's just so much going, you know, and they were making excuses. And that, I think, was the turning point for me that like galvanized me to action. And I had been toying with visibility, but I felt like the messaging came together on that night. And since then, it's been quite the experience. And pretty changing. I
remember you coming into the group after that night and being like, I just had dinner with my girlfriends. Here's what I think my messaging should sound like. What do you guys think? And everyone was just like, this is perfect. This is gold. Like, run with it.
And I haven't stopped since. Like, it has been, and it's not that I feel that I have to run. It's that I'm now in a place, coming from a passion perspective, coming from a full service perspective, feeling like I'm in service to people and feeling like I actually have the ability to help them. And that's huge, because I don't think you could really go into the consulting coaching field without being in service to others. So it feels good. I will say that.
That's so true. And I talk about this a lot in my copy, that if you're not in this to actually help people and you're just looking at people as dollar signs, you're not going to have the impact that you want, or create the following that you want, or create the money that you want. So this is so good. Okay, so we're coming up on ending month 2 together in the Mastermind. I'm curious, what has surprised you most about my process?
I really appreciate how open it is. And first of all, I appreciate being in a group setting, because even if I don't have a question, or if I didn't ask the question that someone else has asked, I learn from it every time. I gain something from it. I'm taking notes the entire time we're having our group coaching session. And I think that that's so important because you're learning from everyone else around the table. No matter if they're further ahead, less ahead than you, you're going to learn something. I think also the piece that I really love is that you allow us to form our opinion first before you really jump in and say, this is what I might do. You give us the space, and you've created the container where it's safe to have the conversation and say, like, what are you thinking? And allow us to tune into our intuition before we actually get the outside perspective, which I think is really, really important and powerful, moving from someone who wants to go into business for themselves and being a CEO of your business, because you really have to take control and be willing to step into that space where you're going to make decisions. And I think so much of the time we are looking outside of ourselves to be validated and say, this is the direction you need to go, or here is the roadmap and this is the only way forward. It's not the case. And so that's what I really appreciate, is that yes, you hold the space for us and you do counsel us, but you allow us to make those decisions as well.
That's so good. I love that you said that, because when you talked about working with other coaches in the past, you know, we all kind of have our own stories. And I was in a situation very similar to yours where my intuition was squashed, and it was very much, you're going to do what I tell you to do because this is the right way to do it. And it took me a lot of practice to listen to my own intuition.
Yeah.
And you're so right in saying, you know, at the end of our 6 months together, yeah, some of you guys may want to continue and do another go, but not everybody will. And I want everyone to be equipped with the tools to actually go off and run, you know, a multiple six-figure business without me.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a lot about confidence and trusting yourself. And we're experimenting all the time. Right. And I say that all the time in my copy too. We're always experimenting. There is no, what do they say? One way to skin a cat. Like, there's lots of ways to make 6 figures in your business.
That's right. That's right.
So good. Okay. Tell me why you're glad to be a part of the mastermind.
I think I am very much a community and connection person. So first and foremost, the connections that I've made, I feel like are immensely impactful on me. And I'm just super grateful for that. I would say on top of that, I think you said it in a free coaching Friday, that you were not a coach until you said, like, you declared it and you just said, I'm a coach. And so I think that has been a piece of my process as well, is I have been a service provider. I have done huge events. I have counseled people on their speaking, but I have never stepped into the space of being like a consultant or a coach. And so I think that is part of this evolution for me, is being able to step into that space.
I love it. Tell me why being a part of it has already paid off for you.
Well, I will say I'll say month 2, in 1 month, I have launched a Facebook group. I have grown that Facebook group to over 100 people. And that was in the first 2 weeks that it was launched.
That's amazing.
I don't know how this happened, and I, like, anyone who knows algorithm, like, ping me later because I'd love to talk about this, but I received over 700 friend requests from what I can see, it was based on the fact that I was just putting out content consistently. Yep. And so I was able to be found by so many more people. So I'm already reaching more people, which is amazing. And I have the confidence to go out and have conversations, and I've had 5 sales conversations in 1 month. So I'm feeling really awesome, and I've closed one of them. So I have my first ever coaching client where I'm actually working with them. So it feels amazing.
You're doing amazing things.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. What challenges would you say that you've overcome since joining?
I would say Being the face of my business.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the adversity to owning and running a Facebook group. I would say putting out content consistently. I put out content 5 days a week, and I have not missed a day since I started. I would say owning, like, it's crazy. I would talk about the things that I had accomplished, but as a planner, as someone who used to plan events, I always deferred to my team, right? Like, because you always have a team around you who's helping you. And so when I was able to accomplish something, it really was about saying, oh, well, it was my team who got us here. The event wouldn't have happened if I didn't have this team. They're amazing. And I would defer all of that. And now it's about owning all of those events and everything, all of my experience, to be able to then say, okay, I own this experience, and that's how I'm going to help you get over the hurdle, and you're not going to have to worry about it. So I think that that's been a huge shift for me.
So powerful. So good. How have your results so far impacted you and your life?
I am really excited because I can see a very clear path forward, where before I felt like I was on the hamster wheel of the churn and burn, and to the point where in 2019, at the end of the year, I had 7 events in the span of 6.5 weeks. And they were really large scale events. And I was like, there's no way I can scale this business to 6 figures if this is the breakneck speed that I'm going to have to run it at.
Right.
And so I already knew that there was shifts in play for me. And 2020 was like the great slowdown for me. But I see a way forward that feels super freeing, super light, super abundant. And I'm so excited to help the people that I get to work with. Like, it just lights me up. And I keep saying in my group too, that like, this is the bright spot of the internet that I like to come to, because you guys are rock stars. So I get to hang out with rock stars every day, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. That's so good. Okay, rounding it out, what would you say to someone that's thinking of applying for this current round of Mastermind?
I think that if you have been spinning your wheels, or if you've been in kind of a rut and not knowing which way to go, or if you just need that extra like jolt of energy, I really think that this could be the benefit that you need to be able to make that change for yourself and that shift, because it's about the group that's created, the container that's created, Brittany's coaching, like it's all of it encompassed that really creates the change that you end up seeing. And I've not seen changes this quickly in my own business before. And I'm only one person, and to look around the group and see the wins that everyone is getting, like it ignites you. It like you want to do more, you want to get better, because you're around these amazing people who are up leveling, it seems like every day, you know? And so that is exciting to me. And I think that it also gives you the space and the container, especially if you're a solopreneur, of if you're having a bad day or an off day, or your mindset is shit one day, you can, sorry, I didn't know you cuss. I can cuss too.
Yeah.
So no, sorry then. If you're having a shit mindset day, you go into the group and you say, like, it's in the tank. I can't get out of it. And these amazing people are like, nope, you've got this. And you also have Brittany, who is coaching you through it and being like, why do you think that is? And how can we get you to the other side? So, I mean, I feel like for the mindset alone, it is totally worth it. But then also because of the tactics, I have a totally new business model that I feel really comfortable with, and like it's going to do amazing things for me.
And it is.
It is. It is.
It is. Okay, do you have any other words of wisdom for everyone that's watching?
Do it. Like, just do it. I mean, if you're already working with somebody else, then maybe wait and then do it later. But honestly, if you are not, like, if you're on the fence, like, have the conversation with Brittany, find out if it's the right fit for you. And you can never be upset from investing in yourself because you're just taking that forward. So I would say do it. And then come to me and let me know that you did it, because I want to know.
That's so nice of you to offer.
No problem.
We'll see how many people show up in your DMs now.
I can't wait. Bring it on, ladies and gentlemen. No, honestly though, this has been an awesome, and we're only going into our 3rd month. So I feel amazing about this. It feels really good.
I'm so glad. Tell everyone how they can connect with you and where they can find you, my dear.
Well, everyone. No, honestly though, I'm spending a lot of time in my group. So you're welcome to find me on Facebook and Instagram. But honestly, I'm spending all of my time right now in my Facebook group, which is Visibility Growth for Entrepreneurs, Coaches, and Thought Leaders. And that's where I hang out, and I love it. And I jump into Brittany's group every once in a while because she's pretty cool. She hangs out with cool people.
Once in a while I show my face.
Once in a while I show up again. But no, it's awesome. And so I'd love to see anyone there.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so I'll get you, once this loads, put your link in the comments so everyone can join. And I just want to thank you for being my first interview and taking the time to talk with me and share a little bit of your story and your journey with everybody in here. You're amazing.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you for creating this opportunity, and thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Oh, I had a great time. I'm so glad that you were here.
Thank you.
Awesome, my level. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope you have an amazing day. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. Erin and I will jump in and answer. And go apply. BrittanyBudd.com/audience incubator. We start next month. Talk to you all soon. Bye.
Bye.